Hi, I'm Jasmine Navarro, Certified Wellbeing Expert, working with educational institutions and companies, helping them support their family wellbeing challenges. And as you know, every week I interview different experts who make a difference. And today I'm super excited to be interviewing Natalie. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Jasmine. Hi, everyone. How are you doing?
Yes, thank you so much for coming on. I know we planned this such a long time ago, but time flies. Can you tell us about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Natalie Stanton. I am a Chartered Environmental Health Officer. So for 11 years, I worked for various local authorities. So I was the person who'd be going out doing food hygiene inspections. If anyone's seen food hygiene ratings on the stickers on the windows of restaurants and so on. So that was a large part of the role. And yeah, now I left local government in 2022 and I ended up setting up my own business. So my business is now providing video-based food hygiene training to hospitality businesses. So essentially just trying to make food hygiene training more interesting, more engaging for the food businesses out there and their staff.
Wow, that sounds so important. I mean, there's nothing more important than the food that we eat, actually. I mean, you know, how safe, clean, and everything. Wow. Okay. So I love this title. So leaving your career to become an entrepreneur. Can you tell us what made you choose that for today and tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, I suppose I spend a lot of time talking about food safety, which may be interesting for an audience, I guess, where they're either food business owners or they're interested in food safety. But I suppose, I wanted a topic that was potentially going to be of interest to, I suppose, a wider audience. And ultimately I did. I left my career and went on to set up my own business. So it was a bit of a leap. I do get people sort of messaging me from time to time who are sort of thinking of doing something similar. I suppose maybe sitting on the fence, kind of want to do it, a little bit scared, not quite sure. So hopefully, it will be a topic that a lot of people find interesting and useful for themselves as well.
I think it's a brilliant topic. And I think a lot of people, or let's just say hi to Kyle. Hi, Kyle. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Haven't seen you for ages. And hello to everybody else who's joining. Please let us know if you have any questions or comments. We'll be happy to read them and answer them. I think it's a brilliant topic. And I think, do you think a lot of people decided to work for themselves during COVID? I don't know. I feel like lots of people seem to leave their career and just decide to depend on themselves. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. And I think a lot of people did. I suppose I almost feel that obviously there was a lot of negative elements to COVID, but I feel that for a lot of people, and myself included, it gave me time to think and reflect. And speaking to a lot of other people as well, it was almost, some people may have been forced into that situation. Maybe they were furloughed or something like that people almost had a bit more time just to think and reflect and think, like, do I actually want to do this forever? I mean, for myself and my husband, actually, he went on to leave his job as well in 2022. So it was a bit of a leap of faith for both of us. But COVID gave us a lot of time. We started reading like a lot of books, like business type books, entrepreneur type books, and sort of discovering things that we just never actually knew about, and we just never thought about things in that way before. Maybe we were sort of a bit late to the party, but it gave us that time to sort of do that reading and just learn things that were like really new for us, but like really interesting, inspiring, motivating.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever too late. But what kind of things were you actually thinking about leaving your job then? Or it was just the fact that you had more time and then you started learning a bit more? Like, tell us about your journey.
Yeah. No, I wasn't specifically thinking about leaving my job, and definitely not prior to COVID. I mean, I did obviously I worked in local government, and I had like a very small consultancy business on the side. And so when I used to work in local government, I used to condense my hours. So I'd do like 4 days a week. So I'd have like 1 day a week where I could do some other things. So I had a couple of clients that I'd do food safety auditing for, and that you were allowed to do this. I always declared it as long as your clients weren't in the same local authority area that you were working. So I always made sure they weren't. But that was like a tiny like thing on the side. And I never even really gave any thought to like growing that business, or it was more just like a little bit of extra cash on the side. Yeah, and I probably didn't even like run it in sort of the most efficient way that I could have done either. But yeah, so it was, I suppose it was just COVID just giving me that time to think, reflect, learn more, and then I kind of just wondered.
What did you learn? Like what was it that made you think, actually I'm going to leave my job? Because it is quite a big decision and a scary decision.
Yeah, I think there was quite a lot of different things. But I suppose the key thing I learned from like the reading and research and stuff like that I started doing was about passive income. And I'd never even like thought about the fact that you could actually make money whilst you're sleeping. And don't get me wrong, obviously in these books and some of these things you see online, like that they're almost making, like they're like selling the dream to a certain extent. And as I've learned, it's not that easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. And I mean, is anything completely truly passive? Like even now, like the courses I've created, they're pre-recorded. People can go to the website, they can buy the course. So that's hands off for me, but there is still the promotion, all of the social media content. There's all of the work for that, just to even sort of build awareness of the brand. And then there's issues if people have issues logging in and so on. There's the user type issues that you still need to deal with. So I think completely passive is possibly selling the dream a little bit. From what I've learned, you got to be kind of realistic. But that was the one thing that really struck me and thought, yes, I want to do that. I want to create something passive. So I can make money whilst I'm sleeping, etc.
Well, yeah, that sounds amazing, doesn't it? Make money while you're sleeping. So after that, after reading about that, how soon after did you like leave your job? Did you just be like, okay, that's it? Or did you have a plan first? Like, what would you, just for people who are watching, who are thinking, you know, maybe they're unhappy in their job, or they want to change, or they just want to go it alone. Like, what was the process for you? Like, did you have a process in place, or did you just go for it? Like, what would you say to people?
I actually didn't have a process. And I left in 2022. And my husband did the same. And it was from then that we both thought, okay, kind of what businesses can we build? How can we do this? Because we thought that, you know, we can kind of just be on it full time and, you know, have more time to do it. I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. From what I know now, I've done like so many courses. I've just done a lot of learning over the past couple of years. And what I actually went on to do, I spent basically £5,000 getting the course created, and then all of the money on the website and everything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Literally, like it was so long to even try and recover that initial cost. So if I was to do it differently now with the product that I've created with the course, what I would actually do is have the idea and just test it to see if it's even something people want. So just literally put up a simple landing page with a wait list. This is the course that, you know, that we're thinking of creating. This is what it will involve. This is how you'll benefit from doing the course. Register your interest here. And then if there was enough interest, then I'd go on to create the course. But I'd probably almost build in public. So then on social media channels, and via like email marketing, just asking people the ones that are on the wait list, you know, what do you want to learn from this course? What questions do you have? And that will almost then start to form the chapters in the course.
Yes. Brilliant. Yes.
and then just before actually building it out, probably offer it to the people on the wait list at an early bird price. So a lot of people have then hopefully paid up front. And then I can go on to create it, rather than spending all that time and money creating something you don't even know that people actually want.
My God, you're right. That just sounds so simple, actually, doesn't it? And much easier that way, really, than spending the money, the time, creating it.
And then trying to really push it afterwards, which is what I've had to do it the other way around. So I'm gonna create another course this year. But I'm thinking of creating another course, but I'm gonna do it this way first, and then see if there's even the interest. So that would have been the sensible approach from the start. But you don't know what you don't know, and you almost have to learn through doing and making mistakes as well.
100%. And hi, Dan. How are you doing, Dan? Dan says, hi, Jasmine and Natalie. How did you become interested and passionate about food safety and health that has led you to becoming an entrepreneur?
Great question. So ever since I was a child, like, I loved programs on TV, like A Life of Grime. I don't know if anyone remembers A Life of Grime with Mr. Trebus, and like programs like Food Inspectors, where you'd see an environmental officer going around the kitchens. I love those kind of programs. So I always knew that's what I wanted to do. But at that stage when I was a kid, I didn't know what the job title was called. So I went on to do a degree back in those days as well. Like the internet wasn't as advanced. So, for example, the Chartered Institute of Environmental Health, their website didn't have as much information on it about how to qualify as an environmental health officer. So I thought, if I go and do a degree, then I can become an environmental health officer, which was slightly wrong. I did a good degree in food and consumer management. And it was on that degree that I realized I needed to do a degree in environmental health. So I actually then, after that degree, went on and did an MSc in environmental health. And then I was on the right path to becoming an environmental health officer. Don't regret doing the other degree, because I'm really interested in food stuff in general. So it was actually gave me a really good foundation. But I kind of just always knew that was the role that I wanted to do.
That's really interesting, actually, that you had a full-time job in this field, and then you went on to work for yourself in the same area. I guess people do that, actually. I'm just thinking probably about myself, because I was a teacher and then I became a wellbeing expert. Similar, but different. And I know a lot of people who, when they became an entrepreneur, it was something completely different to what they were doing full time. So it's interesting that you stuck with the same topic, passion, career.
I guess I am really interested in food safety. I'm really passionate about it, and I love the hospitality industry. I love eating out. I love going to restaurants. I know a lot of chefs and things like that. So I guess that's kind of my passion, food safety and hospitality. So I guess I wanted to kind of stick within these kind of areas.
Can I just ask, it's probably a stupid question, but your videos, I know they're trainings. So what are they actually training? Like how to prepare food in a safe way? Or
Great question. So anyone who works in the food industry needs to be trained in food safety. Normally that's to at least level 2 in food safety. And the easiest way for a food business owner to demonstrate their staff are trained is with a food hygiene certificate. So they would normally put their staff through, say, a level 2 food hygiene course. So there is largely a set curriculum that the course would need to follow, essentially how to prepare food safely. And there's different topics it would cover. So that is what my course is. So anyone who completes the course, once they successfully complete it and pass the multiple choice exam at the end, they achieve their level 2 food hygiene certificate.
That's brilliant. So it's accredited. It's accredited.
Yes. So my course, it's endorsed by the Institute of Hospitality, and it's been reviewed by Peterborough City Council, and they've issued assured advice against it, saying it covers all of the topics that need to be covered for a level 2 food safety course. So, and then I guess when a business has their food hygiene inspection, it would be those certificates for their staff that they would be showing to the environmental health officer to demonstrate that their staff are trained in food safety.
So who would use these training? Who would the training benefit? Would it be like hotels and restaurants, or any
catering business? So some of my clients are people buying for themselves. So for example, on Instagram, there's a lot of like people setting up home baking businesses where it's just themselves, but they will still have a food hygiene inspection. They still need food hygiene training. So they buy the course, and then also some sort of slightly larger businesses as well. They would buy, say, in bulk, because the more course credits you buy, the cheaper it is per head. And then the manager can then access the dashboard, and they can just allocate access to the course to each of their team members as and when they need them to do the training.
Oh, brilliant. So your business, is it all about the recorded trainings? Like, because I know you mentioned at the beginning that's what made you go into business, thinking about passive income. So is your business all about passive income and these recorded trainings, or do you give trainings like in person as well?
Yeah, I do a bit of both. So I still do some food safety consultancy for like a small number of clients. I'm not really taking any more on at the moment because I'm kind of at capacity, but that does change from time to time. And I do some in-house training again for like a handful of clients. And then the rest of the focus is the online video-based training. And my plan is to add more and more courses. At the moment, I do just have the level 2 food safety. The one I'm thinking of creating is basically one to help people get prepared for their inspection, so they know what to expect. As I'm an environmental health officer, I can give the advice because I've been there. I've done hundreds, if not thousands, of inspections, so I can actually really share with people like what to actually expect from an inspection and what they need to think about to get the top food hygiene rating for their business. So that is the next course I'm thinking of creating, but I do need to just test that there's definitely the demand for it before I go on to spend the time and money creating it.
Oh yeah, that's true. And as an entrepreneur doing this with the passive income, do you think it's much better with your experience now? Do you think, would you advise other people to do that with the passive income rather than focus their time on going to the companies doing in-person trainings? Like, is it financially better, would you say, or does it? I guess it depends on so many things.
I think it does depend. I think also like depends on what do you enjoy doing. Like some people like I probably really like love the interaction with other people, and I do like that element. So it is nice sometimes going out, speaking, seeing different people each day. I do some food safety events, and like some of the events I just love going to. It's really interesting. So I think it's, for me, I'd say I like having a blend of both. It can get a little bit lonely if you're just stuck at home.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like we pray for this passive income and just to manage it and things like that. But then you can just end up on your own at home in front of a laptop. I think, it can be incredibly lonely. And then you just want to go out again, because I used to be a teacher and I was always around people. I had the teachers with me, the students, and I just couldn't wait to finish work and just have some time by myself. And now I feel like it's the opposite. It's like I thought working from home and online is the dream. But actually, now I've got to the point, I don't know about you, it's just like I'm so missing my old job. Not the actual subject, but just being around people all the time. It's like, tell us about the challenges that you faced, not just about being lonely, but any challenges.
I do like working at home. There's definitely benefits, but I think it's nice to have the option to do both, to sort of mix it up. Challenges. Where did we start? I think the biggest challenge for me personally was, I've got the background in like my food safety knowledge is there's no problem there, like that's my background.
Yes.
But you can have amazing knowledge in a subject area, but if you don't know about sales or marketing, you can't communicate that to anyone. And this was what I discovered. So it was a steep learning curve, and it still is, just trying to learn as much as I can about sales, marketing, social media. Like prior to setting up this business, I didn't even really use social media. I just don't like it. I didn't even know how to use Instagram. I was doing hashtags all wrong and things like that. So steep learning curve. I did invest, like I've invested in a lot of like training courses. I tried to outsource social media.
Okay.
And that for me was a mistake.
Oh, really?
Big mistake. I think one, because the way I'm building this business and the brand, like I'm the face of it. And I think people can tell on social media if it's not you, if you've got ChatGPT to write your captions. Like people aren't stupid, like they can tell. And like I think people connect with the actual person behind the social media account. So it just, I spent money on social media management type stuff. It didn't work. They didn't understand what the message I was trying to get across. I suppose probably couldn't communicate it that well at that stage, because I needed to go through the process to even learn and understand it fully myself. So I think it depends on the business, but for mine, like outsourcing it, I just wasn't right. What I have done now is I have a VA who helps me and who's brilliant editing the videos. So I film the content, she edits them, and I write the the captions and so on, but she schedules the stuff for me. Good. But then it's me who's interacting with the comments, it's me who's responding to the DMs. So that actually works really well, and it does free up some of my time so that I can then focus on other things. Hiring a VA was fantastic. She's absolutely brilliant. I'm so lucky to have found her.
I guess having somebody with me, I used to have somebody. It's kind of like a VA, and I would work with them together, and we would design the posts. It's like my ideas, but she would help me. Just having somebody to talk it through, I could do it so quickly. Whereas if I'm just sat on my own, all the ideas in your mind, and I don't know, I just used to get stuck and overwhelmed. So I think as well, having that other person to bounce ideas off of, that was really helpful for me.
But it can be overwhelming, I think, especially to start with, like trying to come up with ideas can be challenging. I'm almost the opposite now.
Too many ideas.
Too many on the other way.
Yeah, exactly. You just get stuck. That's the thing. I really like having somebody to talk with. For me, it's so beneficial. Both, like you said, it's balance, I guess. And Dan says, hi, Dan, again. What is the most important thing you've learned about yourself since stepping into entrepreneurship? Great question, Dan.
Oh, goodness. This is putting me on the spot. What have I learned about myself?
I know that is Dan's very deep.
This is the one that's coming to mind. I'll probably think of another one later, but probably like imposter syndrome. Like to start with, I was so scared of putting myself out there. I was for like probably at least 6 months, I didn't even do a video on social media. It was just literally like an image from Canva or something. I was just like, I don't know, people won't want to hear from me. Like, are people going to say negative things? So I suppose, and also, like, can I really be doing this? Like, I'm not meant to be a business owner, like, just those kind of things. So maybe it was a bit of imposter syndrome, but also just needing just to say to myself, just do it. Don't care what other people think. Just put yourself out there and just do it. Otherwise, you're never going to know. I think that's probably the most important thing I've learned about myself. Just make myself do it, even if I don't want to. Oh,
that's brilliant. And that's such a popular phrase, isn't it? Just do it, because you you can just get stuck in your thoughts and questions and what if, and yeah, like you said, you never know until you do it, and it's never as bad once you've done it, is it? But that's brilliant that it took you 6 months, because I don't think that's that long to do videos.
I think it may have been longer. It might have been 9 or 12. I can't quite remember. But to be honest, I mean, even just posting on social media to start, that was a big deal. And I remember the first post, I think I deliberated for about a week to actually post the thing. And it wasn't very good. And I was like so worried about negative comments. And you know what? I got no comments at all. There was nothing to be worried about because no one even saw it.
Yeah. Well, what do they say? What's that thing? They say nobody cares, and that's a good thing or a bad thing. Or no, yeah. Nobody cares, or nobody's thinking about you, and that's good. Yeah. It's so true, isn't it? It's so true. Everybody's just getting on with their own thing. And in the end, you want people to engage, and even if we don't want negative comments, but I mean, the more engagement, the better, I guess. But that's the thing. That's the thing nowadays. It's not just about all the advertising and social media. That is a full-time job, I think. I mean, I was spending so much time. I mean, I do my lives every week, and then the social media, and then the website, and then everything. It can get a bit much, can't it? But what else?
Yeah. That is pretty well. It was becoming a full-time job for me as well, and until I hired the VA, and then also like, again, this is something I learned, but I've basically started to create like a hub system. So, and it saves so much time. So I'll write a blog, and from that blog, I will split it into 6 to 8 pieces of social media content. And then for LinkedIn, it may just be written, because text does quite well on LinkedIn. But for Instagram, then I'll just use that, and that will almost be the caption, that's what I'm going to basically say on the video. And then almost then turning that blog into a newsletter. So I'm almost just repurposing the content for multiple things, and it saves so much time.
That's true. No, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. No, brilliant. Is there anything else that you think is important for people who are thinking about leaving their career?
This is just me, like, personally, but probably just get I think be clear, like, overall, like what do you actually want, like what are you wanting to achieve, probably do some research beforehand about like the type of business that you're wanting to set up, etc., before you take the leap, because the way I did it, I don't think was necessarily the best way. And I mean, maybe even just do the business as like a side hustle or something to start with.
Yeah, that's a good idea, I think. Yeah.
Just to test the water is the idea, going to work rather than just going straight ahead and creating a product like I did. Just start with maybe just like a landing page with a wait list, and just really ascertain, is there interest, before you spend all of the time and money creating that product. It's almost like they kind of say just fail quickly and move on to the next thing, because the first idea may not be the one that works. It may take a couple of goes to actually find the business idea or product that works.
That's true. And that's why sometimes, the way you did it, I don't think that's a bad way either, because you threw yourself in and you got all of that experience so quickly. So yeah, it might have been a harsher way to learn, but you probably learned a lot more that way as well.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on like each person's situation.
Yeah.
So if you're able to, and you're willing just to literally take the leap, then yeah, you could. I think it depends on people's situations, and maybe if people have families and things like that, it could be a bit more risky.
That's true. And before we go, what's the best thing about your decision that you made to leave your career and become an entrepreneur? I mean, what's the best thing? Not best decision. What's the best thing? Yeah.
Yes, the best thing is that me and my husband, actually, we were out of the UK from the 8th of January till the 1st of April. We traveled through Europe and spent 2 months in Lanzarote in the sun to escape the UK winter. And we would never have been able to do this if we hadn't taken the leap and left our jobs. It's the first time we've ever done anything like it, but it was amazing. So that's probably the best thing that's come that's
Wow.
so far.
Freedom.
No,
Thank you so much, Natalie, for coming on and sharing your experience and insights. I'm sure it's helped lots and lots of people. Thank you so much. And can you tell us how people can find you?
Yes, so you can find me on LinkedIn, Natalie Stanton. I'm also on Instagram. My Instagram handle is _safety_expert. And also my website, which is thesafetyexpert.co.uk.
Amazing. Maybe you can post those links on the post on LinkedIn on our posts so people can just click. That would be great. Thank you so much, Natalie. And if anyone has any questions they want to ask Natalie about what she does and how she did it and all of those things, please feel free to message her directly or message on the post. And thank you so much again, Natalie. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've learned something. And thank you, everybody, for coming. And I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye.